Hey, what's up YouTube? This is my review on the Lite electric fan kit for, I think it's 88 to 94 Chevy trucks. It's the Lite part number is, I got it here on my tablet. If you have a 34-inch core, then it's the part number 280. If it's the 27.5-inch radiator core, then it's the Lite 295. Exact same fan, one's just a hair smaller to fit your radiator. So make sure you measure your radiator before you order, because these trucks came with a couple different radiator options. Anyway, lots of pros and lots of cons on this one, guys. I'll start with the pros first. The general shroud and fan and bearings and controller is very well made, and it does work extremely well. That's where the pros stop. The cons are you actually have to mount your controller. You have to drill some holes for some wiring, and a lot of the wiring coming off the controller is only like 4 inches long. There's maybe 4 wires coming off your controller, and then you have to, I soldered all my connections, and you can put butt splices, and then I use a little bit of heat shrink as well, because if you get moisture in them joints, it's going to rust and corrode and not work again. So that's a big con on the wiring. The wiring diagram is actually pretty accurate. It's not real hard to put together. I will tell you that you're going to want to make sure you have another vehicle running, because you're going to have to make some trips to the hardware store. Even though this is made for the years of vehicle, the brackets they send with you are total junk. The brackets I have here, I actually made it work. I'll show you the brackets that come with this kit. I haven't thrown them away yet, but I'm going to. You got a couple aluminum L brackets here with some slots, so you can adjust your fit. And I mean, nothing here fits flush or straight, anything like that. These are the L brackets to go on the side. And I know this is an aftermarket radiator, but it's the exact same size as the factory. And I actually had the factory radiator in here a couple weeks ago, and the fit is the exact same. So these brackets here worked. You're just going to have some spacers and some extra long bolts to bolt it together. Like right here, there's no way you can mount to your radiator, so you have to come a little ways off, and then I drilled through right there with some 4-inch quarter 20 bolts to hold that side there in place. So one major con, these generic brackets, they're very thin, very flimsy, they're not long enough. They do work just barely, and that's kind of a major point to make sure this is mounted securely. And the rest of the wiring, like this wire right here, that goes to the fuse box inside the truck. So I found a hole right there, it was already there, and then you run that into the fuse box. That wire was actually too short, it wasn't long enough. So I'm going to kind of tuck that away and put a longer one on there. This I just got at the hardware store to kind of hold those out of the way. And then these wires over here, you got your ground wire going to the battery right here, and then your positive goes to this fuse holder. And I would have had to add another butt splice if I wanted to make that wire longer, but I think I'm just going to glue it onto the side of my battery. I had some junky glue in the garage and stuck it on there, and it did stick for a while. But I'm not sure where I'm going to mount this yet. And once again, the wire coming off the fuse is only like 3 inches long, so more butt splices and connectors. You got this green wire here that goes up and taps into your air conditioner, so that whenever the air conditioner is on, the fans are running. And that's about it. If your hardware store is close, expect this to be done in about 2 hours. If your hardware store is a long ways away, you're going to need to add some time. But my best advice, make sure you have another vehicle that you can run to the hardware store or auto parts store and get some bolts and nuts of the sizes you need. I'm going to start it up here, and I'll turn the AC on, so the fan should kick on. As you can see, they are a little bit noisy, not too bad, but they move a lot of air and they keep the engine nice and cool. Like I said, lots of pros, lots of cons, but overall I'd recommend it. The motor feels like you gained about 20 horsepower, and I got about 1 more mile per gallon. And is it worth it? I don't know, it's kind of expensive. I think I paid $390 for the kit, but overall I'm glad that I have it. So if you're thinking about it, and you know, money's not too tight, go ahead and get them. And as long as you're going to keep the vehicle, then I don't think it'll ever pay for itself, but you will save a little on gas, and you will gain some. You don't really gain power, it just frees up power. So I hope you guys learned a little something from the video, and I hope it decided or helps you decide whether or not you want to buy the kit. Alrighty guys, thanks for watching.